Hi, my name is Jake, and today I'm going to show you my flea market finds. But first, before we get into all these, let me give you a little history lesson on this. Though what's good about these flea market finds is that they are from the years before 2017, and they're called Thomas Wooden Railway. But as we all know, in 2017, the Thomas Wooden Railway range got discontinued and replaced with this, better known as Thomas and Friends Wood. And later on in the video, I'm going to show you the difference between the Thomas and Friends Wood Victor and the Thomas Wooden Railway Victor. Yeah. And because everyone in the fan base complained about this, Mattel brought back Thomas Wooden Railway, and it completely upgraded it and gave various characters the correct wheel configurations and all that. But you can't find them in the store, or the only way you could find them is either asking Santa Claus or Father Christmas is to get it for you, or order it off of Amazon. So what I got is the lighthouse that was sold in the Down by the Docks Wooden Railway set, a 2002 Edward, the Elizabeth, the Happy Birthday Thomas pack, the Sodor Street Sweeper or Crew or whatever, Bulstrode, the original 1995, I believe, Birdie, the 2005 Coldy, one of Lori 1, Neil, the original version of Jack from 2002, Alfie, Ivanhoe, the original 2003, I believe, Spencer, the original 2003 version of Rusty, the original lime green 1995 breakdown train, a Center Island quarry truck, 3 of the Animal circus train cars, a hippo car, a barrel car with flour and corn, a Titmuth milk tanker, a Sodor Apples car, some random flatbed that I believe came with the Horror Lorry, a Gordon tender, some generic cargo load, a Sodor cargo load, a tiger and bear that came with that circus train pack, a Sir Topham Hatt figure, some random workmen, some random coffee thing, a Christmas tree, 2 generic signs, and a tree or bush, or whatever way you use it. Now these trains here I did not get at the flea market, but they're ones I had over the years. Either my parents gave them to me or my brother Jason handed them down to me. So we'll get started with Edward. And if you're wondering, why do I have 3 Edwards? Well, there's a few differences. These 2 I've had throughout my entire childhood, but these 2 are different. This here is the 2002 Edward, while this one is the 2013 version. And how can you tell which one these 3 are? Well, this one is from the flea market because it still has its glossy finish and its faces. And the other thing is that their faces are all different. These 2 are pretty beaten up, and their eyebrows have kind of been rubbed off and all that, while this one still is intact in good condition and still has all its paint and all that, and its eyebrows too. Alright, so here we have the season 6 vintage Lori herself, Elizabeth. I'm really happy I got this because there's something missing from this version that this one has. As you can see, this I had before I got this one is missing her back piece. And there's a special feature on this one that it does, which, you see this button up top? Watch this. Alright, the next character we're going to talk about is the red bus that works on the Farquhar branch. It's himself, Birdie the Bus. And thankfully, I got 3 different versions of them from 3 different eras. This one here is the original 90s version that actually is the good version and has passengers and doesn't have that dumb magnet on the back like these 2 do. The main reason I'm so happy I found the original 90s version of Birdie is because this version actually has the passengers, unlike these 2. and let me explain why. You see, this version actually has passengers, and the main reason they removed it was because of this passenger, because apparently there was some weird controversy about a kid's toy having a passenger with a pipe in his mouth. Because then they re-released him, and this is what happened to him. They removed all the passengers, but kept his driver in it, and they gave him a magnet, a darn magnet. Birdie doesn't pull anything. But then Mattel re-released it, and this is what he looked like. Like, he still had that dumb magnet, his driver is now gone, and he still doesn't have any passengers. And now the underneath is made of plastic, while the original one doesn't. Now here's the Coldie Railway's number 4, Coldie. And as you can see, these are two different versions, and they are strictly the Railway Series characters only. This one here is from 1996, while this one was from 2005. And how can I tell the difference? Is because of the shape, like, and design too. This one here has a more different slope design and has these two humps on its funnel. Well, this one here. Oh, hold on, and this one also has a side skirt thing. Well, like, this one is made of wood, while this one's made of plastic, and this one here is a more darker or lighter purple, and it's actually got a funnel, and a much larger face. And for the back sides, the back of its face, this one is a much shorter rectangle, and this one's a bigger, squarer rectangle shape. Alright, our next character is our Railway Series only character, Ivo Hugh himself. These two models were both made in 2003, but they were never introduced into the TV series, and they were strictly Railway Series only characters. And I'm actually pretty happy I have this one, because my old version, its wheel is literally completely busted and broken, and you can literally see the metal axle that holds the wheel on in there. Now, the reason I like the one I got at the flea market is because this one here has that little lip piece in it, because it's made from two pieces of wood put on together and glued together. Well, this one is one full piece of wood. It's really great when you find a Thomas Wooden Railway model that hasn't got its paint chips or its magnets are all rusty. Here we have the Duke and Duchess's his Silver A4 himself, Spencer. Here we have our next little orange friend, and Rusty the Little Diesel. And I'm really happy I got this one, because the previous owner really took great care of him, because this one's face is still straight, while the one I originally have, let's just say, had a little rough time and his face is all crooked. Our next things I got from the flea market are the breakdown train. These two are very different in their design. This one here is from 2001, and it's in a lime green color. And there's a difference between the two of them, such as the crane arm on this one is yellow, and this magnet here is very small. While this one is a 2003 version with a 1997 and flatbed, and the magnet on this one is a lot bigger, and the arm is the same color as the body, being a dark green. And since I played with it over the years, it won't stay up like this one. Now, remember how I said I was going to talk about the difference between Thomas Wooden Railway and Thomas and Friends Wood? Well, let's take care of that right now, shall we? So here's the Thomas Wood Victor, and I really think this version's better than this ugly disgrace for Thomas and Friends merchandise. You see, the main problem with this is because this is how the engines looked when they were first released in 2017 after Thomas and Friends Wooden Railway, it got discontinued in 2017. As you can see, it's a major downgrade from this. As you can see, this thing's a lot shorter than it should be, and various of its wooden parts, like it's so darn unfinished. I just can't stand it. And they have some of the most weirdest faces compared to what they had prior. Not to mention the fact we can still see a lot of unpainted wood, and you know how they had these plastic domes and all that? Well, Mattel said screw that and decided to do this. Seriously, Mattel, what the heck is wrong with you? And did you think the tank engines and all that looked bad? Well, here's Caitlin. As you can see, she's been squished down and is now more of and doesn't look like a tender engine anymore. She now looks like she turned into a tank engine. Not to mention the tenders aren't the same shape. Like here's what a Gordon's tender looks like, where it has slopes. Well, on some models, like being Gordon, James, and Henry's tenders, this tender here is more straight, and it's a square little box, and the coal is not 3D plastic anymore. It's literally just painted on. And also, instead of having the paint printed on, they instead did this to it. Like, instead of it being all white, it's all engraved inside the wood. Thank God this range finally came to an end, because this darn thing sucked. But let me tell you, I'm glad they discontinued this ugly excuse who's for Thomas and Friends merchandise in 2021, as Thomas and Friends Wood was discontinued, and thankfully Mattel brought back the original Wooden Railway, but they made it a lot better. They gave characters the correct wheelbases and wheel configurations. They made the tender engines much longer, and they look so damn accurate and all that. I really wish I owned some, but I sadly don't. I really wish I had some models from the Thomas Wooden Railway 2022 range, but they're hard to find. The only way you can find them is either you order them off of Amazon or at those Day Out with Thomas events as well. So yeah, I'm really glad they brought Thomas Wooden Railway back. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Mr. Jake 01568 signing off.